Most revered President Maharaj, I convey my Shashtang pranams to him. Most revered Swami Bodhasaranandaji Maharaj, I make pranams to him. Revered General Secretary Maharaj, Swami Muktidanandaji Maharaj, Swami Shuddhidanandji, and so many senior Swamijis, dear brother monks, Matajis, dignitaries, guests, and dear friends. The inauguration of this building is a great step in the history of Advaita Ashrama. As you have heard, that I joined this Advaita Ashrama and spent about 36 years here. When I joined here, Revered Jyoti Rupanandaji Maharaj was manager here. He is sitting in the front. And Swami Tadrupanandaji Maharaj was the president. But unfortunately, Swami Tadrupanandaji passed away untimely. He was just president for 1 year and his age was only 45 when he passed away. So while standing before you, so many old memories are rushing to my mind, and I remember all of them. The year was 2000. I was sitting in my office. I was manager. One gentleman, his name was O.P. Mal, Om Prakash Mal, the owner of Howrah Jute Mills. He came to me with a suggestion that this standard pharmaceuticals which he had purchased from Ambalal Sarabhai Group, that he wanted to sell. This standard pharmaceutical company was a premier company, a pioneer company, because from this place, this penicillin was started. And this is the first company in India which started giving jobs to ladies. And one Mr. Ghosh, who started this company, was running very well. But after his passing away, it went into the hands of Ambalal Sarabhai Group. And then when it became sick, then it was taken over by Howrah Jute Mills owner O.P. Mal, Om Prakash Mal. Somehow he became very friendly with me and he wanted to give me this land at a very reasonable rates, but that amount itself was mind-boggling in those days. But he told me, you can give Swamiji, you can give me in 10 installments over 1 year, you don't worry. So I wanted to purchase the whole area, but headquarters didn't allow me because they thought it will be very difficult for me to collect this amount. However, we purchased this 65 kathas of land. First, we purchased half on Suresh Sarkar Road and then on this Anand Palace Road a little later. And somehow we were able to pay the entire amount to that owner. Because this was a sick unit, at least 6 unions were there. They were not willing to sell it. And then the whole property was mortgaged to Bank of Baroda and some other banks. And in those days, even now also, no industrial property can be sold off to any individual or any organization without the approval of the state government. So we had to work very hard to get permission. And that Om Prakash Mal here to show that by getting the amount, he will revive that standard pharmaceuticals at Sirampur unit. So on that condition, he could sell this land to us. And in this process, our Narottam Maharaj, Swami Govindanandji, he helped me a lot. Otherwise, it would not have been possible for me to look after the entire process. So this old Advaita Ashrama, 5DH entirely road, it is only just 10.5 kathas, and we added another 65 kathas. So I wanted to immediately start the construction of the work, but due to certain reasons, I was not happy that because this Advaita Ashrama, it is a global organization, it needs so many things. Good vision, this one opening should be there, and then accessibility should be there. I wanted to go to Eastern Bypass or this Sector 5 of Salt Lake or Newtown. At least 5-7 years I spent searching land here and there. I was getting it at a very, very reasonable rate. Somehow I couldn't get permission from the headquarters. In the meantime, I took the renovation work at Mayavati, so this site, it got delayed. As you know, that in Mayavati, when this publication department was started, it was very, very difficult. You can start a monastery anywhere, in a cave or in a jungle or in a cottage, just 1 or 2 monks will be there, it becomes a monastery. But to start a publication department on the dizzy heights of the Himalayas is quite daunting, because paper, binding, everything you have to get from the plains, print it on the Himalayas, then bind it, again it has to be sent back to the plains, because those animals, wild animals, they are not going to read what you write there, what you print there. So it was very difficult. But even then, those Swamis, they worked very hard and they continued it up to 1920. After the passing away of Swami Swarupanandaji Maharaj, Swami Shardanandaji Maharaj went to condole the suffering of this Swami and to see the progress of Advaita Ashrama. He went to Mayavati in 1906. He was highly impressed. After coming from Mayavati to Bellumat, when Swami Shardanandaji brought out the first annual general report in 1910, he paid glowing tributes to Advaita Ashrama. He mentioned there that Advaita Ashrama is the most busy center in Ramakrishna mission, because that time only very few centers were there. So it was so, this one. So in 1920, the one small, on the first floor at College Street Market, one building was taken on rent. Then it started there, it continued for 5 years. Then in 1925, we moved to Mukhtaram Babu Street. There also it continued up to 1930. And in 1931, we came to Wellington Lane. So all these properties were rented on rent. Then after World War II, in 1944, we purchased at Wellington Lane. Then by a decree of the court, Advaita Ashrama was granted Upendra Narayan Dev estate to promote, to propagate the message of Ramakrishna Vivekananda philosophy. So then Swami Gambhiranji was there. In December 1960, this building was inaugurated. It was made by Swami Gambhiranji Maharaj, and it was inaugurated by Srimad Swami Madhavanandaji Maharaj, the then General Secretary. So for long 65 years, this building went on very well. But warehouse problem was there, because we had to print so many titles and there was no space to keep that stock. So we searched here and there. First, we went to Fern Road, one building was there, that we took, that belonged to Ramakrishna Mission Seva Pratishthan, somebody had donated to them. So we used it for several years. Then from there, we went to this Nirmal Chandra Road. There also Bellumat had one property that also we used for some years. Then that was sold out. Then we had to purchase one 3-story building in Central Avenue with the condition that if you purchase some land nearby, then you have to sell it off. Then we came here. So when we purchased this one, so we had to sell off that property, and then here ready-made some godowns were there. Then we built this one. So another thing, I want to mention here one Swami Nirgunanandji. His name was also Govind, this one, Narottam Maharaj. He was the chartered accountant of this company. He came under the influence of the monks of Advaita Ashrama. Then he joined Belur Math and became Swami Nirgunanandji. So he would have been today very happy to see this building coming up here. Then when this building was constructed, then with the help of Mr. D.M. Sen, he was Education Secretary, he gave some grant for starting this library. Then auditorium was added, then distribution of some charities, and this one, that also was started here in this one. So over these years, more than 450 titles have been brought out from here, and out of them, maybe about 30 low-priced editions also have been brought out. More than 100 titles have been brought out in Hindi, then about 8 titles in Nepali, and 2 titles in Urdu were also brought out. And another unique feature of Advaita Ashrama is that right from the beginning, we have been bringing out the quality photographs of Sri Ramakrishna, Vivekananda, Ma Sharda Devi, and their disciples. So many books have been brought out from here, like complete works of Vivekananda, Swami Vivekananda, whatever lectures he gave, then whatever writings he wrote, and then whatever letters he wrote to certain persons, all these have been compiled and brought out in complete works. Then Swami Sri Ramakrishna's life, which was also compiled in 1925 by Swami Nikhilanandaji and edited by Swami Madhavanandaji Maharaj. Then Swami Vivekananda's unique life by Eastern and Western disciples, that also came out in 1912. Then afterwards in 4 volumes, then it was revised and brought out in 2 volumes. Then again it was revised and brought out in single volume. And when I joined here in 1978, 2 big enlarged volumes were brought out. So wherever, in any part of the world, wherever you find any literature on Sri Ramakrishna Vivekananda, in any language, in any country, take it for granted that it is based on the publications brought out by Advaita Ashrama. Then we also brought out unique books written by Roma Rolla on the lives of Sri Ramakrishna and Swami Vivekananda. We also brought out books by Max Muller on Sri Ramakrishna, his life and teachings, then by Christopher Ishwarhood, and the English translations of Brahma Sutras, Upanishads, and different commentaries on Bhagavad Gita. Then we also have brought out many books written by Shankaracharya and have translated them into English. Then in Hindi also, that Vivekananda Sahitya, the Hindi edition of complete works, was also brought out. And Prabhupada Bharata, it was started in May 1896, and since so many years it is in circulation, almost 130 years. This is the oldest English monthly magazine in India, and through the pages of this magazine and other publications brought by Advaita Ashrama, the message of Sri Ramakrishna, Vivekananda and Vedanta has gone into the hearts of millions of people. Then another magazine that was brought out in 1922 was Samanvaya, a Hindi magazine. That time Swami Madhavanandaji Maharaj was president of Advaita Ashrama, and he was in Muktaram Babu Street. That time, that Suryakant Tripathi Nirala, who is well-known poet and famous by this pen name Nirala, he was born in Mahishadal in Purva Medinipur, and because of that Spanish flu, influenza, many people died, and during that time his wife and daughter also died. He was in depression. Then he was searching for job, Then he came to Advaita Ashrama at this one, at our ashrama. Then Swami Madhavanandaji Maharaj gave him job, and he assisted him in translating Sri Ramakrishna's some books, and then Swami Vivekananda books. And this Samanvai, it continued for about 7 or 8 years, but because the demand was not there, that's why we had to discontinue. And Swami Madhavanandaji Maharaj, he went all the way to Gujarat, to Alwar, and the king of Alwar, he subscribed for 350 copies and gave him substantial amount also to continue the circulation of this magazine. But because lack of demand, we had to close that one. Then Sister Gargi, Mary Louise Burke, she came under the influence of Swami Ashokananda. Then in 1948, Ashokanandaji introduced her to Swami Vivekananda's literature. Then she first brought out Swami Vivekananda in the West, New Discoveries, in 2 volumes in 1957. Then the whole thing was revised and enlarged. Then it was brought out in 6 volumes from 1983 to 1987. And this Sister Gargi, she was given Vivekananda Award also for that one. And later on she took to sannyasa, and her sannyasa name, monastic name was this Prajna Prana, and she died as a nun at the age of 93. And then Brahma Prana, she was entrusted in compiling the 9th volume, because a lot of literature written by Swami Vivekananda came to light, so she helped us a lot. Then 9th volume was published in 2007 after 45 years since the publication of the 8th volume. And so many funds were collected, endowments were made, so that many publications can be subsidized. So if this institution has come to its present stature, of course Swamiji's blessings are there, but it is also due to the blessings of Captain and Mrs. Savior, Swami Swarupanandaji, then Virjanandaji, Madhavanandaji Maharaj, and Swami Vireshwarandaji Maharaj, and so many other Swamis are there. During Swami Swarupanandaji's time, 8 books were published, including some pamphlets from Mayavati Press. And that time, the first volume of complete was also had gone to the press, but due to his sudden demise, he couldn't see the printing of that one. Then another specialty about Advaita Ashrama Mayavati is that many direct disciples of Sri Ramakrishna visited this place. First one was our Premanandaji Maharaj, Subodhanandaji Maharaj, Turiyanandaji Maharaj. He stayed for 6 months at Mayavati. And Subodhanandaji came several times. And Akhandanandaji Maharaj came to Wellington Lane when Swami Vireshwarandaji Maharaj was president. And then so many editors, very competent editors, they have also contributed a lot to the development of this Advaita Ashrama. Among them, I can say this Swami Swarupanandaji, Virjanandaji, Pragyanandaji, Madhavanandaji Maharaj, Vireshwarandaji Maharaj, Nikhilanandaji, Ashokanandaji, and afterwards so many other came, including Swami Bhajranji Maharaj, who is sitting here. He was editor for long 7 years, from 1979 to 1986. So many articles, many valuable articles came out in the pages of Revered Bharata, and then later on we compiled them and brought out many books. I remember that A Bridge to Eternity, when we were celebrating the 150th birth anniversary of Sri Ramakrishna, that time we brought out this Bridge to Eternity, that is a compilation of articles on Sri Ramakrishna, which came out in Revered Bharata. Then Art, Culture and Spirituality, that book also came out when we are celebrating the centenary of Advaita Ashrama. Then recently that From Darkness to Light, in 2 volumes. And then I had also compiled another book, that is Vivekananda, the great spiritual teacher. So that also contained mainly articles on Swami Vivekananda from Prabhupada Bharata. And then I remember some memories which I want to share with you. When I was manager, that time, one day this postman, he gave me a packet. When I opened it, I found 2 books in Arabic. I was surprised. How come that somebody has sent me this Arabic 2 books? Then I found one letter was there, written by one Muslim professor of Iran University. He writes, now I remember those words. He writes, I think it will be criminal on my part if I don't translate the unique message of Sri Ramakrishna and share it with my Muslim brothers in Iran. So that's why, without taking your permission, I have translated this and I am sending a copy to you. Because that Muslim Iran professor, he had come to India, he visited all the places in India. While going back from this Bombay, on the railway station, he found 2 books. One was Life of Sri Ramakrishna by Romarola, and another Mind and Its Control by Swami Bodhasarananda. So after reading that one, he was simply overwhelmed. So that's why he translated, so that his Muslim brothers will be benefited. Another day, I got about another packet containing 5 books of Karma Yoga in Urdu from Karachi. One gentleman, he has translated that Karma Yoga, because now he is not able to sell it and send to various libraries because he has no copyright. So he told Swamiji, please excuse me, I read this Karma Yoga, I thought no, I should translate into Urdu. So now I am not able to sell it, please you give me this permission to print it so that I can sell it here. So I was highly impressed how Swami Vivekananda is doing his own work and propagating his message, because he told, I want to be a voice without a form. And even now Swami Vivekananda is doing his work silently, as Swami Shuddhidananji told you. Then Darbari said, he was very a close confidant of J.R.D. Tata. For about 52 years he was connected with Tata Group, and for 14 companies he was the chairman. Then he was also chairman of Tata Tea and Tata Chemicals. So he also sent one letter that asking, he gave order for 35,000 copies of teachings of Sri Ramakrishna, which he wanted to distribute among his shareholders and then other friends and relatives. So 35,000 copies he placed one order that we delivered. Then again on the following year, again he wrote this, gave another order for 75,000 copies of unique message of Sri Ramakrishna. So that also we gave. And then just when letters of Sister Nivedita was brought out by Advaita Ashrama in 2 volumes, another pharmaceutical company, they also placed order for 2,000 copies. So like this, Sri Ramakrishna Vivekananda's message is spreading everywhere. So I will not take much time. And one important thing that I want to share with you was Advaita Ashrama, when we decided to publish the subsidized edition of complete works of Vivekananda, then we sent so many advertisements, and then pre-publication booking was started. It is unimaginable. We got an overwhelming response, and on same day, first edition and second edition were released. 20,600 sets were issued, and in trucks we had to send to Delhi, then Bombay, then Chennai and Hyderabad and other places. It was a sight to see how all our monastic brothers, day and night, they were packing and then sending to different centers. So with these few words, I wish that Advaita Ashrama should reach new heights. We have very competent here monastic workers here. They are very committed, devoted and efficient. I am sure they will continue the work that has been going on since last about 130 years. Namaskar.